We have been through intensity, disruption, dealing with some very raw truths over the last several days. Today's different. Today carries an opportunity, a softness, an expansion, and a reminder that growth doesn't always have to come through struggle. Sometimes it comes through the simple act of saying yes. This energy opens doors. It invites us to take what we've been learning, the details we've been refining, and see how we can make them grow. Grow into something bigger, something that nurtures just not ourselves, but to those around us. This is a day for trust, faith, for stepping into possibility. So join me as we gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy. By the end of our time together, it's my intention that you now have the tools, the insight, the wisdom to go forward with the confidence, with clarity, with love. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here. Truly, thank you for taking the time to be here. I applaud each and every one of you. I thank each and every one of you. Okay, and I send all of the positive, loving support that you send me back tenfold. Welcome to your daily focus, September the 11th, 2025. So today we have the energy of the 11. The master number 11 appears. So maybe the struggle of the last several days was definitely worth it to walk into an 11 energy. The 11 energy is the teacher. The 11 energy is one that says, we don't need to hang on to all of this stuff. There's things we can let go. We know we can let it go. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't really hold a value or doesn't support us in some way. To let it go and make a commitment to yourself. Maybe it's a goal you set, a dream, a desire. But make that promise to yourself and then consistently show up for yourself. And watch the doors fly open in front of you. That is what the 11 energy is about. If we look at the daily numerology, it would be a 9 plus an 11 plus a 9, and that gives us the 29. Now, 2 plus 9 is an 11. So yes, we're back at that 11. It's heightened in energy, absolutely, for showing up as our numerology and the numerology of the day and the numerology of the day, right? So we do it both ways. We take that middle digit, and of course I explain in videos the monthly usually. I wasn't around when September came around, but I will for October going forward to let you know how that energy shifts and how we can work with it. So the 29 energy does result into an 11 energy, but it's like an underlying factor of the 11 energy. And so with a 29, there's a challenge that's put forward. There's something that we must do. We can't sit idly and hope for things to happen. We actually have to take part in it. So we may have a decision to make today, a choice to make today, that nobody else will be able to give us the answer. We need to go within and give the answer. And maybe it's the yes answer that we've been saying no to that question all along. Sun is in Virgo, moon is in Taurus, and today the sun, well, you know what? The sun will sextile Jupiter actually in the wee hours of tomorrow morning. So 3 a.m., 2 a.m., somewhere around there. So we should be feeling this energy start to build now. So Sun sextile Jupiter, yeah, say yes to opportunity. Okay, this sextile is like a door cracking open for you, several doors perhaps, and it's not going to be dramatic and it's not going to be forced. It's going to be quietly inviting. So it could be very something so simple like somebody phones you up and says you want to meet for coffee. And you're kind of like, oh, I'll have to get ready and I have to do this first and that. No, it's such a lot to do. No, I don't think I'll meet you today. This is the day to say yes Say yes to those small invitations. Somebody says, "Can I give you a hand with that?" And all of a sudden, as they're working with you, they actually, you become a partnership by the end of it. So it's those little invitations that we have to pay attention to. Maybe it's a chance to share your work. Maybe it's somebody offering support. Maybe it's just the right timing. The right timing to start something that you have been holding back on. And if we're distracted or if we're hesitant, we'll probably miss the opportunity. Now, if we can lean in and accept the invitations that come our way, they can grow into something much bigger than we ever imagined. Now, Virgo. Sun is in Virgo. So that brings in the gift of structure and detail and preparation. It's about carefully placing one brick on top of the other so that the vision has a very strong base on which to grow. This energy would definitely support creating plans and refining our work in some way. And focusing on the little details, perhaps, might be the answer today with Virgo energy. If we pay attention to those small details now, we set ourselves up for some very strong, lasting growth. And Jupiter in Cancer, that expands what feeds us emotionally, especially when it comes to home and family. So the energy asks us to ask ourselves, does this growth actually make me feel safe, supported, alive? Do I want this kind of growth into my life? Is this the opportunity I've been waiting for? Not every opportunity is worth chasing if it drains us or it leaves us empty. So, can I handle this? We can't just say yes to a project or a relationship because those choices can bring great warmth and care into our life. But taken under extreme pressure or anxieties we really have to weigh it out. But we want to say yes. Over the next several days, more so than ever, we want to at least invite it in and try it on and see if it fits. Okay, we don't want to just randomly pick one thing and chase it down the path, okay? And it looks so good on the outside. Let me tell you about looking good on the outside. I had this in my day you could buy a car for $50, a used car for $50. Then it went up to $100. What was the world coming to? And so, and they were really what I would call Bondo buggies because you held them together with Bondo. You filled in all the rust spots with Bondo, and you gave it a new paint job, and you drove it down the road. And some of the vehicles I drove when I first was driving, oh my goodness, I was embarrassed to be in them. But they got me from A to B, and that's what I needed. So it was. But one of the intentions before I even really did intentions and stuff was just, I would really like a car that I look good in. And oh my gosh, somebody had a 1980 New Yorker and it was gold. It was gold, I tell you, and it talked to you. Cars in those days did not talk to you. This car talked to you. Oh my goodness. And boy, oh boy, that gold. Boy, did I look good. So I dressed up. I was going to a meeting and I dressed up and I was all, and I'm driving down the road and I'm just so happy and so alive because I got what I wanted, right? A car that looked good. And then the car spoke to me and it said, your electrical system will now fail. And immediately Everything went blank, and I'm pulling on the wheel, trying to get it over to the shoulder before I get rear-ended by a car coming. So I went back to asking for, maybe it looks good and it gets me from A to B. That would, maybe I kind of left something out in the second intention I pulled up, because before I just wanted a vehicle, got me from A to B, and I that request was always answered. But anyways, yeah. So we don't want to go chasing something that only looks good from the outside, right? We want to test it out. We want to take it for a test drive. We want to see if we really like this. Okay. What else can I tell you? Well, Virgo and Cancer, they both carry patience and persistence. So this is about planting those seeds and then trusting that they will grow in their own divine timing. Okay, results may not come quickly. That's okay. We're here for the long haul, not, the skip and the jump. Okay, today's steps are laying the groundwork for something that will grow into something much bigger for yourself. So trust that the universe knows what it's doing and knows when to allow these things to unfold in our life. We need to be consistent and show up. We need to have a faith, a belief that if we show up every day, that eventually we get to the threshold, to those new doorways that we want to walk through. And just one day, you may just find yourself in the right place at the right time. So, and I guess the other thing to kind of, warn you about, it's not really a warning, but maybe asking you to be a little bit more conscious today, more aware today, because unlike a square or an opposition that it demands our attention, a sextile can pass us by quite quietly. So if we're not paying attention, we could easily miss it. So I think that is probably the biggest challenge to this energy today, that the opportunity may not be loud. And if we stay too focused on those distractions, or we're waiting for that dramatic sign, we might miss the very chance to step into something to lead to our growth. So awareness is key. Look for those subtle openings, the conversations, the small nudges that invite us to act. This isn't a momentary breath of fresh air. This is a window of opportunity stretching across several days for us. And what makes the energy so powerful is how practical and supportive it will feel. It's Cancer, it's Virgo. So it's going to make sense. It's going to have logic. Yes, it's going to touch our emotion, our heart, our desires. Virgo will sharpen our focus. It will remind us to pay attention to details. Jupiter is just expanding our vision, urging us to grow in ways that also nurture us and sustain us so that we can be strong for family, that we can play our role within the family. And it won't seem like a chore. It will seem like something that we want to do because we have the energy and we have the vibration of, nurture you. So it really is the perfect blend of having faith and action. Okay, courage to believe in more while also making sure that our foundation is strong on which to build. So over the next few days, notice where life is offering you that quiet yes. And it may not be loud, and it may, you know what though, it will feel aligned. There'll be something that triggers you. And it might just be, quicker than a nanosecond, but it will feel aligned. So this sextile is a reminder that growth can be steady, it can be nurturing, it can be profoundly supportive. And when the Sun and Jupiter work together, the opportunities we say yes to now can ripple out far into the future and bring us great success and happiness and joy in our life. Absolutely. Okay, let's turn to the cards, shall we? Who did we have there? Oh, we had the Two of Swords making a decision, making a choice that we can only find within. Nobody's there to help us on that one. Okay. Now, our underlying energy for today is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands saying, you know what? Look behind you. You have a string of successes and accomplishments and honing your talents and honing your skills. We don't pay enough attention to that about ourselves. We pay attention about that within other people, but we rarely look at the steps we had to take to make it to where we are today. Now, that doesn't mean kick your feet up, you've done a good job. It means it's time to go forward. It's time to now go towards a new mission, a new desire, a new dream, to start building. Nine of Wands. I won't do the story today, but because some people were getting annoyed. I personally love the story, but I can see how after a while you're kind of like saying the story with me, so that's cool. Here we were red and we were white. There's ones behind us, all straight and tall with foliage on them, telling us that those are the paths we've walked and those are the accomplishments we have done or honed our skills or tackled that challenge and succeeded, whatever it might be. But every single one of those wands looked like the one that we are now holding in our hand, and we're sizing it up, and it's gnarled and it's twisted and it doesn't have any growth whatsoever, doesn't have any foliage, and we're trying to decide, do I really want to go this path? Is this right for me? Am I in alignment with the dreams and the desires, or am I kind of like painting an illusion here because I know deep down under I should be doing this? So whatever this new quest, it will take a sense of courage because we're wearing red here. So, and also passion. There has to be some kind of passion into it. So it really has to align with a desire, a want, a need, a goal that you've already set into place, or you have wanted the opportunity to step into it. And white is new beginnings, new starts. Okay, the High Priestess. Sit in solitude, silent solitude, and go within and recognize the magic that is within you. That is probably the most important statement of this card. Your magic is your talents, your abilities, your unique self, your accomplishments, your wisdom, your strength, your courage. All of those things are magical gifts that we can grow, that we can strengthen. That's your magic. Those are your superpowers. And how much of that do you allow to, I hear you know, not to filter it, to just let it out to the world. And I actually see this great, like holding parts of it down and you only let certain parts of yourself shine. This is about utilizing your power, your empowerment, your magic, your strength. So as you go through your day, I want you to do something really, really simple. The Superman pose. Superwoman pose, maybe. You might want to say too. I think she uses it as well. There's that Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman kind of stands like that too. But anyways, put your hands on your hips. Look straight ahead. And imagine your success rolling out. Maybe you're going for a job interview today. Maybe you're just going for another day of work. See the day as you want the day to be experienced by you. You want to see certain things happen and laughter and joy and celebration, then imagine it. Imagine your success in actually walking through that door today and claiming everything and doing everything right and having the right words at the right time and the right actions at the right time. Just see yourself and do it for 5 minutes, and I want you to set a timer. A 5 minute timer. Yeah. And 5 minutes is going to seem like, oh my gosh, my legs are getting tired. I don't think I can stand much longer. It really will. But you know what? You start doing that on a regular basis before you step out of the door in the morning. To just stand there in that Superman pose or that Wonder Woman pose and see yourself. Feel that cape flapping in the breeze behind you. Feel the breeze blowing through your hair. Feel the strength and determination that's already being infused into you. There's magic all around you. Tap into it and utilize your magic in the process. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune back. Wheel of Fortune is about starting to write the new script of your life. What do you want it to look like? Write it in the present tense like it's happening at this moment. Watch what happens when you start doing that. When you start saying, I love how much money is in my bank account. Money comes to me through different streams all the time and new streams every day. There's all kinds of opportunity for more money and more money and more money to come into my life. You can do that with love. You can do that with your health. Although I would go see a doctor, I would have a medical person helping me, but I would be doing my part in raising my strength within, of telling my body to cooperate with the doctors. This is about writing your story, the story that you want to be living rather than the one that you are currently living. Tweaking it maybe in some way, some part of your life. The Wheel of Fortune is one that says we move through seasons and we have to. We have to grow and develop and be born through these experiences, as well as letting some things fall away and die. That is the lunar eclipse that we just went through, right? To let go. And then we went through the moon talking to just about every planet, telling us that, well, you know, we're going to show you some of the places where you need to let go, leave it in your rearview mirror, forgive, and take the lesson, take the sage wisdom from it. And now we're being offered new opportunities where doors will start to open. What doors do you want to open? What doors do you want to walk through? Because the sun talking to Jupiter is, you know, this, it's like springtime all of a sudden. All of a sudden it's spring. And maybe it's only for a moment in time, maybe it's for a long period of time, but we want to grab the opportunity when it is here. Absolutely. Now, let's just try this deck out, okay? And it's called the Ancient Stones Oracle. Okay, it's quite beautiful. There's the back. I'll find the link, so if you want to purchase it, you can find it. You open it up. Usually there's a whole deck in here and um the book, and but they do give you a card. Okay, Ancient Stones Oracle Attunement. And then they give you something to say before you work with the deck if you so desire. So I thought that was very cool. You know, obviously quality here. And then you get this book. So we've got Rebecca Campbell, artwork by Katie Louise. So thank you to both of you. But look at the amount of research they did. You know, there's like an extra 10 pages back here of research that they did in order to compile this. So there is, you know, back of the things, and then see if we can fan it out a little bit for you. They might be too light for the camera. You know, I've had decks before that I really liked, but I want to see that pink one there, but I don't know how to get to it because everything is backwards. Oh, I see. Right there. Yeah, so we'll just have to, we're just going to have to pull that one out because I want to see it. Oh my gosh, it does not want to be seen, people. It does not want to be seen. Oh, there we go. Live the question. Curiosity, open your mind, live into it. So you tell me, so, if you like this deck or not. I've got a whole bunch of decks. Um, but let's go with that, and we'll turn into the book. What I liked about the thing is some of it gave historical information about whatever ancient stone that appears for us. Let me know. Who do we have? See the beauty, gratitude. The sacred is everywhere. So see the beauty. Now hold that up. Yeah, they're very pale, these cards, which is kind of a shame. Yeah, and I know I need better lighting, but we'll get there. I'll request it. It's time for better lighting. Okay, I hear you guys. See the beauty, gratitude. So if we go to the book, see the beauty. Let's see here. We'll read through it. I'll hold it up there, nice and close for you to see. Gratitude, the sacred is everywhere. Stones are so often overlooked. The bones of this earth. They are often not truly appreciated for their infinite variety and beauty. But if you look at stones a little more closely and all the other beautiful things around you, you'll find that you can be transported into a state of awe any moment you wish. For those who have the eyes to see it, this world is filled with never-ending beauty. And when we notice the beauty around us, we enter a state of appreciation and gratitude. Oh, that was our first card there, right? When we enter this state, we're having an embodied experience of spirit, and we're moving more receptive to receiving and calling in the gifts of our life. When we notice the beauty that surrounds us, we not only see the sacred that's already here, but also activate it within ourselves and have a mystical, intuitive experience with all of life. If we awaken our hearts and turn our gaze upwards, we'll discover that beauty is all around us. If we're willing to take the time to look for it, we'll discover the sacred is woven into all things, and that intelligent codes of life are within it all too. And then there is a soul inquiry, and it says, how can you take a moment to notice the beauty that's all around you? What blessings can you appreciate right now in your life? What blessings can you appreciate in your life right now? Go ahead, make a list. Got it? Got a couple of things? Are you on the very top of that? Be grateful for who you are, what makes you you, because that is going to be the shining light going forward. Deep rest with our mouse. Deep rest. Um, when I first got this deck, the little mouse has a little soft spot in my heart, because when I first got this deck, I said, oh, we'll read it, we'll look at it, I'll learn the cards a little bit, because obviously it doesn't give me much information here. And I want to give you all the information I can. And so we started, and I think mouse came up like 10 times in the first 3 weeks that I was pulling it. Like, it was every other day it was the mouse again. So we didn't, I thought we'd, get to learn the whole deck, but really the mouse took the stage. And this is lazy sleep, rest, and meditate. Rest is not idleness, and to lie sometimes on the grass under the tree on a summer's day, listening to the murmur of water or watching the clouds float across the sky is by no means a waste of time. So Mouse says that it's time for you to make time for laziness. You don't have to constantly be on the go. That is how you become run down. Spend a little time each day or week doing something you enjoy that is completely frivolous and fun. It could just be an afternoon of laying in a hammock, reading a book, watching your favorite old movie, or playing with the kids. This is not a time to begin anything new. It is a time of restoring your spirit. Sometimes rest doesn't necessarily have to be sleeping, but just quieting your mind. Take some time grounding yourself by taking a yoga class, gardening, fishing, spending time in nature. Spend some time each day meditating and just be in the moment. And you don't have to physically be at your happy place to go to your happy place. You can simply be within your mind. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And yes, I meditate every day, every day. And when I do not meditate, I miss it severely. Um, it's usually in the morning, and I go down to the creek with my coffee, and I close my eyes, and I just do some deep breathing and listening to the birds awake and talking to each other. And then there's really a more of a peaceful overall sound. The water, it may be lapping at the shoreline a little bit. And I just, maybe I ask a question. Maybe I just sit there to see what happens. Maybe I just concentrate on my breathing. Each day is different. Sometimes I follow one of my meditations. They work great for me. I hope they work great for you too. I know some of you have been using them, and some of you are talking about some really insightful choices that you made that opened you up to a realm of wonderful possibilities. So meditate, take time for yourself, sit in stillness. Okay, give the universe time to actually communicate with you. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.